Hello, stamping friends. This is Jenny from Celebrate the Journey, and it is Monday morning. Time for a Facebook Live. I was just checking to see. It seems so dark on my phone, but it looks pretty good on the computer, so I guess we're okay today. A little bit crooked, but I think that's all right. We can fix that a little bit. I don't know, I've made it worse. Let's see. It's so funny when I never know. I'm never good at knowing right or left or up or down. But I think we'll just leave well enough alone here. Well, Jamie, I'm glad you're here watching me move my camera around. I do have a fun little treat for you today. Robert asked me, are you making something you've made before or something new? I said, no, this is something new. So I'll show you how I'm going to do it. I've got a couple that I've done, so I'll show you those. It's kind of hard. I'm having a hard time trying to decide how to start. This is made with the Pretty Pillow Box die. And the Pillow Box die makes like a little package kind of 3D item that would hold a gift card or something. And it has some dies that match that can embellish it. But we're not going to make, we're going to make a box with this instead. And I'm going to make one for fall using Fond of Autumn. But let me show you the others I made. So none of these are Halloween treats, Jamie, I'm sorry. But they could be Halloween treats. So it doesn't matter what. All it matters is the paper that you use. So this is one that I made with the Sweet Candy Cane DSP. And it says Candy Cane Wishes and Mistletoe Kisses. And I had some chapstick that fit right in here. Christmas chapstick. So that works cute. And then this is one I made with the new fitting florets that's coming out tomorrow. And this would be great for a ladies' luncheon, Valentine's Day, whatever. It just says you're just a little reminder that you are loved, and it's got a little leaf on it and the pretty paper from the fitting florets. So I think some cookies could fit in here, some chapstick, a bath bomb, tea bags. What else do you think might fit in there? Peppermint patty, you know, the big peppermint patty would look cute in there. All kinds of things. Or those, the green ones, the mints, like you get at Olive Garden. I can't think of. All right. So you can get one box out of one piece of cardstock, and you'll have a little bit left over that, you know, you could use for embellishments or save for another project, but not much. So we've got an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. We're going to cut first at 5.5 by 7. So let me put my little wing out there. So that's an extra piece you'll have left over. I don't need this now, so I'll fold it up. Now we're going to do some scoring. You could use your score tool, or you can use your paper cutter. And you're just going to score at 2 inches. And then turn it and score at 2. Andy's Candies. That's right, Jamie. I couldn't think of what they were called. Twix would work, just anything. You know, people just like to get a little gift. They don't really care what's in there. So now we've scored it 2, 2, 2, and 2. We can put that away. Now we're going to do some cutting, but for me, I like to go ahead and kind of score this so I can see my lines better. The older I get, the harder it is for me to see those lines. So just by creasing them, we can see the lines. Now we're going to use this in just a minute for the next part. So we're going to cut just with our scissors. You could do this on the trimmer, but I don't see any reason to, because nobody's going to notice if it was perfect or not. And we're going to do the 2 end skinny pieces first. Just because it's easy, you could go straight around and do all your cutting, but I would mess it up, because your next cut's going to be a little different. So we've just done these 2 skinnier pieces. That'll be the side of our box. Now these, we're not going to cut right on the line. We're going to cut just about 1/4 inch over. And then we're going to snip at the corner. Now, see, that doesn't have to be, that's going to be inside, so nobody will see if you don't cut perfectly straight. You see why I did these 2 and these 2, because if I tried to go around and do every other thing, I would mess up. You know, and I don't usually do boxes or bags because they are so fiddly. But this one was so easy, so I was surprised. So these you can save for leaves or embellishments if you want. And now we've got our box base. So we'll do our folding again, get our creases good, and we'll put it together. Now using, Robert says Saint Michel cookies from France, our favorites. Maybe he could bring one down here for us, because I bet they would fit. So we're going to put glue on here. And while it's drying, you can use a paper clip, or I always keep some clothespins here in my desk drawer. It just holds. We'll hold it for you. It doesn't take long for it to dry, but we are kind of playing around with this, and we don't want it to fall apart. I hear somebody bringing me a cookie, I think. Are you bringing us a cookie? Yay! Oh, Robert brought the whole box. Do you know these Grand Galette cookies? They're our favorites. You can get them at Costco this time of the year, but they don't carry them all the rest of the time. Or you could ask your friends to bring you some from Paris. One or the other. They come in a pouch like this. Let's see if they'll fit in here. What if they don't? Oh, they fit perfectly. Isn't that great? I wonder who I could give this to. So, there you go. Head over to Costco before those are gone. Now, this year, they're coming in a cardboard box, but we saved our box from last year. Our tin box, because it was cute. Isn't Robert a good listener? He was listening and paying attention and brought me cookies. So we'll let this dry while we're working. Now we've got this leftover piece that is a little more than 5.5. It's 5.5 exactly. And we're going to cut this, but we're not going to cut the whole thing. And we need 2 of these. So this we're going to do is fold it in half. And just creasing that. And we're going to cut just this much. We'll leave some down here. And I'll run this through the cut and emboss machine. They're the best cookies, Jamie, because they're sweet. They're not super sweet, but the glaze on them is salty. So you get sweet and salty at the same time. Not super salty, just a little bit. Now, since I was cutting 2 pieces, I ran that through twice just to make sure it cut good. Now we're going to leave that layered right like that, and now we're going to run it through with a Stitch Stylish Shapes circle, and well, that'll be the little finger tab on the top of our box. And we'll cut that. Throw that. I'm not going to keep that little circle. That's too much to fool with. Now we're still going to leave this layered. See this cut right here, that crease, we're going to put that back in the trimmer and cut that off. So it's good to have a nice crease there so you can see it, because I would have a hard time. You could cut that by hand if you wanted to. So now we're done with this. I think, well, you just want to make sure now that you've got both front sides showing, because you don't want the back side on your box. Now we need to decorate the front of our box. We're not going to decorate the back because you could. I won't say you can't, but the back looks fine to me, just like it is. So I've decided I wanted to use up some of my autumn harvest paper, and I thought this would look nice for Thanksgiving. Even though it's black, it's still pretty. And this is the last piece of this paper I have, so that's it. Now we only need the front part here. We are going to leave a little bit there, so this works just exactly right for me today. My last piece. See if I could get, nope, can't get 2 because you need the whole width of your pillow box die. We'll run that through the cut and emboss machine. And there's our little funny looking piece. Good morning, Kay. Thanks for sharing today. Now, the one thing you do need to be concerned about with this paper is you want whatever's on, if you're going to do it this way. Now, there are other ways to do this. You want the back side to be something you can work with for your design. So keep that in mind if you're looking, you know, thinking about your colors. So now we've got that. Now this is going to go on here. And the reason I left this is so that I can fold it under. But I don't want these weird looking points, so we're going to trim those off. I think it's just going to make our box a little bit stronger, sturdier by doing it that way. So we're going to go ahead and adhere this to our box front. It's not a card front, is it? I think these would be really cute for your club ladies, Jamie. If you don't want to get this for Christmas, you could get it for Valentine's. And they could make Valentine treats. Now, to see how that makes a cute little, like a little bib. Now, if you didn't have pretty paper, if your paper wasn't pretty on the other side, then you could cut this off in the trimmer and then add a piece of ribbon there or use the scallop die. You could decorate, you know, just a straight other piece of DSP. So there's lots of ways you can use this if you don't have pretty paper on the back side. So don't worry about that. So we want to put some glue here to hold this down. And I'm going to put the glue right on there and hold it for a minute, I guess. So we'll let that hold it while we're doing some stamping. Now, I told you I pulled out Fond of Autumn. I think that's going to be in my way. I'm going to use this little banner and Happy Thoughts of You and the cute little flower. It'd be cute with this acorn and leaves. I don't know. But the reason I went simple to me was if you're going to make a bunch of these, you need to keep it pretty simple. So if you're just making one or two, you can decorate them any way you want. I accidentally cut out 2 of these banners, so we're going to see if we can stamp right on there without making a mess. If not, we'll stamp another one. I usually stamp and then die cut, but this one was pretty easy. Now we need our little flower. Just a little blossom and some leaves. That's cute. Oh yeah, get those cookies from Costco. I won't say they're cheap, but they're not super expensive either. You know that little folded DSP thing that you can make that looks like a pocket? I bet you could make a large enough one for those cookies. So we're going to do our flower yellow because it's Thanksgiving or fall. We'll start with some dark. and then fill it in with light. Hi, Anne. Oh, you can get them on Amazon. Yes, you can get them on Amazon. We've done that before too. Our son loves those cookies, and whenever we go to Paris, we have to bring him some home. And then we found out you could get them on Amazon. If y'all gain weight, it will not be my fault. It'll be your fault. We try to limit ourselves to just one cookie out of the... We share the second cookie. And then we don't eat any more for like once a month. That's a good thing about keeping them in a tin. You forget you have them. The other thing we have a French bakery near us, but we pretend it's not there because not only are they terribly fattening, they're pretty expensive too. We go for like a special occasion, like our wedding anniversary, we'll get something. Now we'll fill in our little center part with pumpkin pie. So I used Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, and pumpkin pie. It's a pretty little flower. See, this is simple. That's what, if you're going to make a bunch of these, you need to keep it simple. And we'll cut this out with our die. We'll run that through the cut and emboss machine. There's our cute little flower. I think he needs some Wink of Stella on him just because that's like everything's better with Wink of Stella. Kind of brightens up that little orange too, doesn't it? We'll put these to the side. Our little box has had more than enough time to dry now. Take our clothespins off. And now we've got our pieces to put on here. And here's a hint. Don't put glue here because it's bigger than the box. So put your glue on your box and then you'll know you won't get it in the wrong place. You know, I didn't do that the first time. So I had yucky glue. Sorry, my hands are shaky today. I think it's my second cup of coffee. Too much. We'll stick that on there. Now we'll do, you see this, since we're covering that up, you can't tell that I cut that by hand, and nobody's gonna worry about that. honestly think cutting it by hand is easier than trying to line it up in the trimmer. Now this fold will go on the bottom. And we need to turn this so we can line it up as close as we can to our back piece, and it looks pretty good, doesn't it? Now we'll just put a little bit of Tombow on here. I think that just is gonna, it's gonna reinforce that seam a little bit, and it will keep that paper from fraying on the edge. And we'll fold that up. Now, there's our cute little box, and we can decorate that any way we want. So we've got our little banner, we've got our pretty little flower. So let's get some dimensionals and put them together. I'm going to use minis on this one. I think the big one works, but this way I don't have to worry about lining them up so much. Thanks, Kay. I think these are cute too. They're just real versatile. No matter what paper you use, each one's going to be different. Now this I think we can put on with a larger dimensional. And we don't, it doesn't hurt. It can hang off the side of our box a little bit. I think that looks real cute that way. Now I pulled out these darker rhinestones from the, they're called amber gems, and they came with that set with the leaves. So let's put some jewels on here. Maybe one here. And here. Should we put one in the flower? Oh yeah, that looks nice. There's our 3. That's the rule, isn't it? So there's, isn't that cute? I'll tell you, I ran a piece of ribbon through one of these, tied a bow. I thought it was just too much. So, you can try it if you want to put a bow on it, or you could just run the bow through the front and let it be a frilly little bow. I don't know. So here's the one with our yummy cookies. And then here's the one with the candy cane. So any season, any holiday, these will work. And I was cleaning off my stamps. This stamp from the framed florets, don't you think that would go just perfect right there? So you would cut that piece off and then put the framed the little flower bow there. So that's one I might try later today. So here's my 3 bags, treat bags, boxes for you to try. If you don't, see, Jamie, you said you didn't have the pillow. Let's see, what do we have that's about 3, and it's not quite, it's 4, but this box is 3. Do you know that die that is from Painted Christmas? The seasonal labels? Don't you think that the seasonal label would work here? And then you just cut it off. So let's try that one. We'll, that might be an alternate if you don't have the pillow box. You'd still make the box the exact same way, but then the front would be the seasonal label. And I think that would work. So I don't know. Well, thanks for joining us today, Polly, and thanks for the comments. And so let me tell you this, if you didn't catch it at the beginning, this piece of paper for the box was 5.5 by 7. You just cut, you score 2, 2, 2, and 2, and that creates your box. So you should be able to remember that. And then you decorate them however you choose. So thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it, and I will see you Wednesday. Bye.